All right. It says, if you have any thoughts on how to balance hormones, besides female reproductive, please let me know. Also looking to increase testosterone. That would be a great video for Dr. Morse on an adrenal fatigue and how it affects the hormones in women, resulting in losing testosterone, aldosterone, all the sex hormones. Don't forget estrogen. Even the men have estrogen. Relationship to pituitary, etc., and I suppose it leading to perimenopause or menopausal symptoms, which are all about hormones. From my understanding, stemming from weak adrenal function and possibility or probably involving, thank you, pituitary. That's more likely, ladies, and or hypothalamus. Well, that's always involved, I think. When you look at the pituitary, I mean, you're really kind of nestled there, so you're going to get up in there and clean that anyway. Thoughts? I'm sure if I'm asking, a lot of people are wondering. Well, let's take a little time and talk about that balancing of hormones, because let's see, it was a few years ago. Some of you might have been there. We had I think it was a level 1. In that class, we had like 4 medical doctors, I think, in that class. And 2 of them were a man and wife team, and they were bioidentical type medical doctors. They dealt with a little more involved in looking at your blood works and stuff and setting yourself up with what they call bioidentical steroids or hormones. So I want to approach this from a healthy viewpoint, because the endocrine gland, if you look at the body simplistically, right, and we looked at it, we're talking about the cells, fluid, blah, 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 but we have a glandular system that controls a organ system. So you have to have pretty much an overseer or an overseeing group when you have a company. And you've got a big community here. This is San Francisco. You've got a huge community here in this body, and you have to have overseers. You have to have the lights on, you have to have power to run everything, right? So you have to have the nervous system. You have to have all these things. Now, what you don't realize, there's a power that also runs this. It's not physical. Okay? So there's a power that runs you that's not physical power. But looking at the physical power, right? So the endocrine glands, the pituitary, of course, sits up right nestled below the hypothalamus, and it is not very big. Not very big. And in fact, when you look at the adrenal glands and you look at the pituitary, you're going, what? For a master gland, that's why you know it's hooked up in and deals a lot more with the hypothalamus area than what's, in my opinion, previously thought. So the pituitary controls the rest of them, controls monthly cycles. So if you're irregular or you stop menstruating or anything like that, excessive menstruations, you've got to fix your pituitary. One of the other symptoms is too short, too tall, things like that. Vitiligo, the albino look, turning white, the Michael Jackson effect, things like that. The problem with this, and I've said this to you through all the videos, is that it works with all the other endocrine glands. So for an example, TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone. Well, I just had a case, and she wanted her eyes done and a protocol, so I was doing them, and I was looking, and she sent me blood work in there, and I called her up on the phone. I said, honey, your medical doctor missed the most important thing here. She's only 21 years old. I said, he missed your pituitary. You have no TSH, basically. She said, well, I haven't had my period. She's 21. She hadn't had her period in like 3-4 years. And your medical doctor didn't see this? Not that he can do anything about it. But my God, because that trips up all her other endos. So what you got is a thyroid and a parathyroid gland on. Just for practical purposes, let's just say on each side, even though you have 4 parathyroid, let's just say you have one on each side. You can call them lobes, whatever you want, but you have one on each side. Because remember this, something the medical doctors do not know. You are bilateral. Cut yourself right down the middle. You have one kidney. Your right kidney controls your right drainage lymphatically, and your left. Not one kidney controls systemically. You'd be smoking something bad in the back room. You believe in that. You two kidneys. You got two thyroids. You got two of a lot of things. Two ovaries. Two everything. And you've got a lot. You can take two different blood pressures. Two different blood sugars. Oh yeah, two different adrenal glands. You have two different of a lot of things sharing some common ground, like digestive tracts and you know how you bring in chemistry. But it's transported to two separate sides of the body. Sorry to say. So I don't like the word balancing because to me there's no such thing. Because everything in this world is in a state of flux or in a state of activity and movement. Your moods change, your things change, your desires for others change. Someone might not turn you on anymore like your lover, or it might turn you on more than normal. I mean, there's a lot of cofactors that affect the production of it. Where do you think I'm leading you? I'm leading you to the road of health. I want you to think about making your endocrine glands healthy. Well, now how do we do that? And what makes an endocrine gland lose its ability to be healthy? It's just a bunch of cells, fluids, spaces and Oh. That's it. My lymphatic system flows everywhere, including through all the endocrine glands. So when that's backed up, everything gets suppressed and inflamed because this is acidosis. And so it's always going to take you back to the kidneys and adrenals. You can just about take this to the bank that everybody on this planet has some degree. But when we talked about the SARS virus and what the International Society of Immunologists, what they found, 98% of the deaths from SARS were kidney tubular deterioration, 98%. Probably the other two is medically killed. 98% of the people that die from these cold and flu-like symptoms have kidney failure. I'm just saying, you guys are in on the truth of it all. And these guys, big shots as they are, will finally someday rein it on down, and when they find our information, they go, uh-oh. So I think it's more apropos to make healthy. So the first order of making anything healthy in your body is to get your lymphatic system or your immune system in order. Get your kidneys to filter, start getting all this acid out of your body, so all the swelling, the inflammation, all this stuff backs down, and now you're to ground zero. Everything is now, cells are feeling good, no more burning, I'm feeling good, I'm going to get healthy again. The cell gets its own state of health. What are we getting out of the foods we're eating? Energy. So you're right on. The types of foods to regenerate the human body, you understand. Oh man, a lot of junk last night. You're looking at all the things that build up this mucus in people. And this was an organic Solaris bar. It was organic coconut, pineapple, and strawberry. Sugar. And God, that gave me so much mucus just from a natural organic ice cream as a fruit bar. Horrible. And I love them. They're so good. Where do you get organic fruit that's frozen and cools you down? Sugar. But I also want you to think about this, ladies, when your menses stops too early. Pituitary. Go after your state of wellness. Don't go, I just got to get my pituitary healthy. I don't like that thinking. That's focused thinking. Well, what about the other ones? And what do we have? What tool do we have that is prima facie, that is the tool of all tools to help us? And you're about to get it online. Classes start, hopefully by Christmas or before, we're going to have our iridology seminar online. Woo! Eyes have it. You look at your eyes. You can see your adrenals. You can see your pituitary, your pineal. You can see why you're doing the things you're doing, the symptoms that you have. You got to fix. You got to clean and rebuild. Your body rebuilds itself easy. You don't have to even think about it. It cleans itself too, and you don't even have to think about it. What do you have to do? Simply just start eating right. What's right? Start eating your fruits, your berries, your melons. Start eating an alkaline, electrical rich diet, and sit back, because your body's going to do its own thing. You're not doing it. Your body's doing it. You're hydrated. It's a chemical experience and it's an electrical experience. I mean, look at chemistry. What's ionization? Why is that? And what about detoxification and ionization and hydration? All of this, once you understand the simplicity of this, it is not difficult. And it's just a matter of doing it sometimes and staying self-disciplined a little bit, you know. But I love fruit. I love berries, melons. I love my salads. I have no problems making my life into this totally. And I don't think any of you can. It's changing your perception. Do you want a body that's full of pain and swollen and fat? Or do you want to feel good and healthy and dynamic and ready to take on a bear? That's what I want.